ones. These are the ones I have the most number of. They're the average ones for it. And then I have some little tiny delicate ones. These are little 4-inch, and well, just for the heck of, let me put on some gloves because I want to show you the edges while we're on this. There's flat edges in the back and there's curved edges. And there's sharp points and there's dull points. So there's really a lot of anatomy to the different nippers and you get to know them. So I'm going to take these out. I won't touch the end because I want to use these. But if you look at it, it's sharp and it's flat and it's small. So this would be the appropriate thing that you could use on a thinner nail on a that might be ingrowing because you need that sharp edge, but it's got to be a nail that isn't huge, thick, and deformed, or you're going to ruin the nippers. So don't ever use small nippers on a big, thick nail, but you can use bigger nippers. If you're talented, you could take these big nippers and do a little tiny toenail, you know. So you can use big on small, but you don't want to use small on big. Got it? Okay. Alrighty, so that's some different anatomy and of the nails there. Okay, what else have we got in here? So then I have gloves, and I use powder-free nitrile. I don't use latex and I don't use powdered. And I get them at Costco. I get them wherever I can get them cheap, but that's what those are. And I do a lot of fingernails, and what I do, I don't take time to buff them. I'm not a manicurist. I usually just throw it in. So I have disposable cheap emery boards from the dollar store, and then I'll give them to the patient afterwards and they can file them unless they have, you know, disabled or dementia or something. So then I just give them to them and it gives them something to do while I'm doing their feet. And usually I have some first aid stuff in there, but rarely, well, you know, you're going to nick people if you're starting out. It just happens, but you want to have the microcin and you want to have a little, you know, ointment, antibiotic ointment. What is it, double or triple? There's one of them that they don't use because there's an ingredient that can be, there's triple antibiotic and there's double antibiotic ointments. Neosporin.
Polysporin's the one that doesn't have that ingredient in it.
Okay, so polysporin, I forget these things. So polysporin would, and I also got a tip from somebody on the comments to use Bactine. It has lidocaine in it, so if you have one that's a little sore, you can put that on first. You really have to check. Nurses have to be really careful about putting any topicals on. So just check with your state, see what's in your scope of practice, and double check. But you can't go wrong with microcin and a cleanser anyway. But the antibiotics, sometimes they consider it practicing. So look into that. Okay.
Well,
yes.
You said that when you're first starting out, you nip people.
Yeah.
You know, you can be a veteran and still nip people.
Yeah, and I do too.
Lots of times, the people you treat are the elderly, and they'll have a tremor or whatever it is. They jump, or dementia people. You can't really explain what you're doing, but their feet need it, and so they might jump. And so sometimes you nip people. So that's why you have your little 2x2s. You have some kind of antiseptic, and then everything. When you end up with her beautiful lion's paw, they're probably already healed before they even leave the room.